Well, this is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping a foot on the what? Niggas. We keeping a foot on the what? Niggas. And like the Tibetan master that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. This pressure does what? It bursts pipes. Let's talk about it. He Knows Everything is still kind of laughing off of the clean sweep of the pure fucking beta supreme at Durant Lieutenants. That last video, man, I went back and even watched that shit myself. I bust out fucking laughing. And I know if I can laugh at my own shit, oh, I know everybody cracking the fuck up off this shit, though. That's the problem. You got too many pure fucking beta supremes. Anyways, let's talk about these pure fucking beta supreme in i.e. Skip Bayless. Here you go, talking about saying Kevin Durant ain't got to prove nothing. Kevin Durant is saying that he ain't gonna prove, he ain't got nothing to prove. You reading too much into the shit. All Kevin Durant is basically saying is that he's not looking at the obstacles that's in front of him as if he's gonna fold under the mighty Manonia of that fucking pressure. As if he's gonna fold under the stormbreaker of pressure. When you see true alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics give you a nonchalant stance on how they approach governing affairs, it's their way of being cool, calm, and collected. That's one of the prerequisites of being a true alpha extraordinaire governed by true alpha economics. Clearly, Skip Bayless ain't no fucking alpha male. Never fucking was. Because if he was one, he would understand that is the prerequisite. You're gonna be cool, calm, and collected. Shit that bothers the normal pure fucking beta supreme is not going to bother you because you are alpha in the way that you comport yourself. You are alpha in the way that you denote yourself. You are alpha in the way that you basically move and unction yourself. Alpha males are what the fuck they are. Alpha males. That's why the terminology alpha. That means there's nothing of weakness. Alpha means strength in every fucking thing. So when Kevin Durant says that he ain't got nothing to prove, Kevin Durant already is one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game. Name me motherfuckers in the NBA that have won titles and, you know, they've been NBA 50 greatest. Kevin Durant got the same amount of titles as Isaiah Thomas. Don't you guys rank Isaiah Thomas as the 50 greatest? There's a lot of motherfuckers that's on the NBA 50 greatest of all times. They don't got no ring. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. Should I keep going on? Karl Malone, John Stockton. These motherfuckers ain't got no rings. So when Kevin Durant say he ain't got nothing to prove, he's telling the truth. It's cold-hearted. It's unadulterated. It's cutthroat truth-teller fashion. If Kevin Durant retires right now, he's ahead of all these motherfuckers. And then some. Now, there's levels to this NBA Pantheon of Greatness situation. There's gears. And the levels and the gears are as simple as this. You gotta, you know, there's guys that win one title. They're in their own lump of coal, the Jerry Westers of the fucking world. There's guys that win 2 titles. There's guys that win 3 titles. And there's guys that win more than fucking 3. And there's guys that win 5 and more. These are levels. There's levels to this stuff. There's gears. It's probably the greatest thing to ever come out of Meek Mill's mouth, bro. Because the levels and the gears is as simple as this. Kevin Durant is already one of the greatest players to ever touch the game of basketball. To ever touch a basketball. To ever put the ball on the floor. To ever ram-a-lang opponents. To ever lash them up. To ever be a 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle. To ever be a guy of the notion and greatness. And greatness personification. Because greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So when Skip Bayless runs his Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brain mouth, classic Golden Troglodyte mouth, ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric mouth, he's speaking of what we call Riders Media nonsense. He's not a LBJ Riders Media. Notice I say Riders Media. Riders Media is just basically media that goes by the wind. They go by prisoners of the moment fiasco. They go by wherever the wind takes them. Because a double-minded man is unstable in his ways. In all of his ways. Isn't that what the Apostle James said? And he tells the truth. They're like grass, man. They wither away. And like the waves, dog, they move wherever it takes them. Double-minded men like Skip Bayless, because he's been double-minded so many forms, so many variations, so many aspects. That's why motherfuckers say, you remind me of Black Skip Bayless. That actually is a diss. That's actually like a fucking disrespectful thing to say, because Skip Bayless wish he was He Knows Everything, formerly known as He Knows the Sport. Because if he was, he would have basically a comprehensive mind to basically be a guy who's all about individuality, to basically be a guy who's all about individual mindset, to basically be a guy who's all about individual understanding, to basically be a guy who's all about singularity, basically be a guy who's all about a oneness of authenticity and consistency. Not this one day you over here and one day you over there. Motherfuckers that talk two sideways out of their ass, that's 50-50, you can't trust them, let alone throw the fucking stick their way, because what happens to them is, it's called, they're mired themselves in being reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panderers. They want their cake and want to eat it too. That's basically the essence of it. They want to basically be people that they talk two sideways out of their ass. They 50-50. And what did we tell you about 50-50 people? They give 50% of themselves. And if you give 50% of yourself and you are 50-50, that means there is nothing that comes out of you that we take serious. And we can't take Skip Bayless serious when he sits here and has the unmitigated the audacity to talk trash about Kevin Durant. But this is what Riders Media does. LBJ Riders Media, on top of it, they got to speak against Mr. Anti-LeBron, Mr. 35 crooked little, and the shot with the Kevin Durant, because they know he's back to restore the natural order of basketball. They know that he's the natural order of basketball restorer. So it's making them hot and bothered like grits. Matter of fact, let's contextualize it. It's making them la hot and la bothered like damn la grits. And they don't know how to touch it, let alone deal with it, and let alone figure the shit out. Kevin Durant doesn't need to prove nothing to you, Skip Bayless. Kevin Durant just needs to prove to what Kevin Durant needs to prove to himself. That's what greatness personification is all about. Great players always are trying to usurp themselves, because at the end of the day, the greatness came from them. So they got to outdo themselves. So your standard don't mean shit. It's Kevin Durant's standard that means shit to Kevin Durant, because he has to outdo his own standards. If that was the case, he wouldn't have got where Brooklyn is at. Remember, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? When Biggie said it, he didn't ask a question. He made an emphatic statement. And the emphatic statement that Biggie made was, he was prophesying of things to come. That Kevin Durant would be the 50-40-90 walking gazelle. That he would be Mr. Durantula. That he would be the Slim Reaper iteration that he is. He would be the over-the-top player. He would be the natural order of basketball, or the natural order of basketball restorer. He's come back to restore the game of basketball. So in doing so, where Brooklyn is at is going to be where Brooklyn is at. That's the cold-hearted. That's the underdog rated. That's the cutthroat telefashion. Skip Bayless, shit that you don't know. Stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Here you get fucking hush. When it's all said and done, if you don't know shit about shit, then shut the fuck up. This is He Knows Everything. Checking out.